Paul Barron is the 38-year-old owner of Barron's, Hull's premier nightclub.
Tonight is erotic night, and I've changed various bits of the decor to give them an erotic ambience.
1, 2, 3, Barron's nightclub is the place to be, all right?
Someone say knickers onto the bottom of the chair.
Good evening! I am Kinky John. Welcome to Erotic Night.
A banging new series.
I've created some Barron's cocktails. Simply the breast. Vodka with a chicken breast on the edge.
It's Reeves and Mortimer, New Year's Day at 10:15 on BBC Two.
Hello. There have always been stand-up comedians.
This is the quickest gag in the world.
Right. Hello, John. Got a new mouth.
And then there's always been natural selection.
The worst man has to be what you would call a
The history of alternative comedy is laid bare with Angus Deaton.
Hey, you kids, be cool.
A history that will leave you in stitches, starting Sunday the 10th of January on BBC Two. What?
You were chosen to destroy vampires, not to wave pom-poms at people.
I do try telling her.
You don't like the color?
Letting high school girls fight to be in the cheerleading team can always be dangerous.
You saw that, right? That wasn't me.
But in Sunnydale, it can be fatal.
Why should someone want to harm Cordelia?
Maybe because they met her?
And it's not as if Xander's much help.
I laugh in the face of danger. Then I hide until it goes away.
Episode 2 of Buffy is The Witch, Wednesday, 6:45 on BBC Two.
A comedy horror classic in 45 minutes when BBC Two heads off into the bizarre world of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
One of the first joys of sitting in, let's face it, alone on New Year's Eve is the creative programming. The little joys and surprises the broadcasters throw up for you, because if there's one night of the year when you can't complain about your licence fee, it's tonight. Later on BBC One, for example, an all-too-rare showing of perhaps the greatest carry-on film of all time, the mighty Carry On Columbus. Funny? Ooh. On no account should anything you see tonight be seen as filler. The next programme is a compilation of 80s comedy sketches, and the compilation programme is often seen as filler. It's not filler. To me, the compilation is like prospecting for gold, filtering through the slurry to find those shiny nuggets. Sometimes you look through your sifter, pure bullion. Other times, it's a steaming pile of ready, steady cook. So which category does a Kick Up the Archives fall into? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
You have no film in here. A bit on space about and Paul Daniel. But try to get, but you can't right.
Still the madness rages on this barren land, this earth made fruitless by man's selfish hand, where birds mourn trees in which they sang, now black fingers reaching where corpses hang.
The roar of guns compete for my ear with screams of death, the wounded and my fear that rat-like squealing drag to my death. I might call myself English with my dying.
There was a young girl called Miss Lunt. Sarah French went to hunt. The shells they did drop, she went over the top and came down with a dud.
The place is full of Freemasons? No, sorry, that's a secret. I mean, it's a lie. I said secret, but that was a slip of the tongue. Honest.
Mason Boyne, he's a sport and a friend. He'll be true orange and blue till the end, with a shake of the hand and a kick in the groin. Mason Boyne, Mason Boyne, Mason Boyne.
You should be ashamed of yourself fighting at your age.
Goodness gracious, Morag, you're talking as if it was just a drunken brawl. It was completely justified and vital to the credibility of my deeply held beliefs.
What happened then?
Someone called me a fat orange bastard.
Well, your suit's ruined.
Master's blood, Morag.
And you left the front door wide open, the sweet and sour trampled into the carpet, and by the way, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy rubbish. Doesn't mean a thing to me. Birthday's just the same as any other day of the year. Did you get us a present?
It's by the side of your bed.
Great. Let me guess. A new sash and a box of orange creams? Oh, you shouldn't have, Morag. Come here, you wee darling. Come here.
I'm busy, Mace.
Come here.
No.
Come here. Come here. Come on.
Thanks very much.
You know, it's funny, you know. I'm not getting any younger. It's funny how you always think that, isn't it, in your birthday? When you're a year older than the last time you thought about it, how you're getting older, isn't it?
There's another card for you.
And I bet I know who that's from. My wee darling daughter, Orangina. Love to Daddy, isn't that sweet? And look at that wee what? Yeah, they've got to get their filthy hands onto everything, haven't they? Just look at that card.
What?
Who do we know that sometimes wears a heart like that? Eh? And look at that. That zombified bird following behind. And that umbrella, held just like a bishop's crook.
So, Snoopy is the Pope?
I know. It's hard to believe, isn't it? Just how low they'll stoop to get their doctrines across. But it proves what I've always said, Morag.
What?
The Catholics are obsessed with religion.
Oh, it just seems senseless to me, slaughtering the baby seals. I mean, if you let them grow a bit bigger before killing them, you could make much bigger jackets.
I love cats. They're warm and friendly, and honestly, they're so nice to have around the house. As soon as Fluffy hears me opening the tin, he's there in a flash. And he eats every scrap. There's never any waste. It's tender, it's chunky, it's meaty, and Fluffy lets me know how much he enjoys it. In fact, we often have conversations together. He understands every word I say. In fact, he told me to vote SDP at the last election, which I did. And he's taking French and Spanish O-levels this year. I'm publishing his poetry next summer, and he's doing
Thank you very much.
visits.
That was lovely. Thank you.
Soft. Gentle. Absorbent. Labrador puppy.
This is it, Rob. Well, here, this is the hospital.
Oh, look, I'm on it.
Well, they're not right, Rob. You're magic. Hey, is anybody here? Soap! Hey, missus! Soap!
Yes, can I help you?
Aye. Can you do something for my pal here?
Well, that depends. What's the matter with him?
What's the matter with him? He's got a flu. Some bum stuck an axe in his head. That's what's the matter with him. Look!
All right, just Just take a seat over there and I'll contact the doctor for you.
Okay, right, Rob. Come on,
You again, Nesbit. I might have known. Every Saturday night it's the same story. How in God's name did that happen?
Well, me and the wife had a wee tiff, you know, and stuck an axe in me. It was awful lucky, Doctor. Stuck in his brain. And then slowly could have lost an eye there, you know.
Well, you know, Nesbit, people like you disgust me.
Wait a minute. I'm not sitting here listening like to that. Hey! Who the hell do you think you're talking to? Hey! You stand there in your white coat with your pockets full of guts and you tell me? Hey! Don't you talk to me. You know you've trouble. Hey! You think you're something. Well, I'm here to tell you, boy, you're nothing, there you are. Nothing. Same as him and I. I've been coming here to this outpatient's department every Saturday night since you were knee-high and entrail. I get my beer at Agnew's, my fags at Presto's, and my stitches at Southern General. I'll tell you this, sonny boy. I'll tell you this. No more. No way. Hosey. From now on, you boy are scrubbed, there you are. I'll tell you, see that? There you are. My kidneys. Well, you can whistle for it. There you are, you're getting nine. Transplant, is it? Transplant. Hey, I'll transplant my boot up your Archibald. You'll need more than an enema to get it done. There you are. Come on, Rob. On. I'll tell you this for now, boy. From now on, it is Booper for me. There you are. And I'll tell you, I'll be speaking to the social worker first thing Monday afternoon. You'll need to get something done. Your skull's split wide open. It's only the grease in your hair that's holding it together, you know? You better get something done. You couldn't see your way clear again as a couple of Fensick to the pub's open, could you?
Leader ravioli, please. Martin Borman. Lewis Collins. It's their place if I say the voice about Neil Kinnock. Who's the double glazing? What's the voice of Arabic? Not at 9 o'clock news. Ho ho. Can't wait, Travers, Mr. Harry Body gets it. I'm doing it Tuesday! Never! Chris, Dodge chip. What? Dodge chip.
I tried 4 men for gross indecency last week. None of them were any good.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes, just over there, dear.
Hello, Mr. Pearson. Got a singing telegram for you.
Singing telegram for me?
Yes. Please do not try to contact the police. We have your wife and children, your mother and your niece. If you want to see them alive and well again, put 300,000 in a plain brown bag and then leave it in the car box on the corner of the street and cut every outlay. We will send you to Lefty, to Lefty, to Lefty. And for every outlay, we will send you to Lefty.
Oh, God, I don't believe it. A group of feminists have formed a football team and they want to get into the Football League. Christ almighty, they've got Queen's Park Rangers already in the league. What else do those stupid bitches want? Don't get me wrong, though. No, I'm not a male chauvinist pig. Far from it, as you know, Alec. No, if the wife wants to become an airline pilot and fly all the way around the world, that's fine.
just so long as my dinner's on the table when I get back from the pub. But I'll tell you, Bob, seriously, I'll tell you what makes my blood boil. All these bloody feminists want to be called Ms. Huh? Bzzz. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's bzzz, bloody feminist. I don't know why they don't just go, excuse me, I hope they don't, I just wonder sometimes why they don't just go the whole hog and call themselves Mister. They're all bloody lesbians anyway. And have you noticed how ugly most of them are? Dear God. Most of them could never find themselves a husbands. What do? Go and stay and squalor in some camp and talk about their fundamental ideals, which, I may say, include a world without men. Ha! It's all going to be women's sperm banks and Tupperware parties, I suppose. No, I'm sorry, Alec. I think a woman's place is in the home and not marching about with their breasts hanging around like Ruth Tyler's nail bags. They're all a bunch of shapeless boilers anyway. I think I'll have another pint, please, Jim, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Men, is it? See that. For 15 years, I did everything for that. Cooked, cleaned, changed it, straw, the hell whack. Waste of bloody time. I went to a sex therapist, you know. I says, see, where sex is minging. On my honeymoon, I got one orgasm. And that was when I got body served at Glasgow Airport coming back to Alicante. Oh, God. He was a market man, too. Oh, really filthy. See, the first time we slept together, we got undressed in the dark, right? I heard this funny noise. I said, what are you doing? Are you eating a packet of crisps? He says, no, I'm taking off my underpants. I thought, Christ, no class, Oh, no, like me. Oh, I'm a right yuppie now, I get flung out a wine bar for using bad body language. Oh, it wasn't my fault. It was just frustration, you know. You get fed up being in your jack. I tried going to one of these singles clubs, but it gave me the creeps. Oh, I mean, they try to tell you that there are no meat markets, right? But when they call the joint the Ponderosa, who's kidding who? Oh, and all the men trying to appear that lovable. Oh, makes you spew, so it Oh, shuffling about with buttons missing off their jackets and scorch marks on their chinos, you know. Just so you'll feel sorry for them and give them a swift podger. Oh. No way, Jose. Go sniff a lamppost.
Absolutely awful the way old people are treated. Shut away in homes, away from everything. What we should be doing, of course, is involving them in various activities, sporting activities, for example, and that's what we're doing here. Hello, Mrs. McNulty. Oh, very nice to see you. Yeah. Oh!
Some weekend at Wembley, eh? Oh, some weekend, boy.
Some journey, it was some journey.
Oh, a hell of a journey. We're doing one on overnight stagecoaches, you know.
Oh, yeah. It's not actually a stagecoach, by the way, you know, it's, well, a bus, really.
Oh, that's a bus. It's definitely a bus. Oh, place size.
Getting away from you.
Oh, no, it's got the wheels and everything.
Oh.
In fact, there was a wee bit of trouble in the bus.
Oh, a wee bit of soapy bubble, you know. But it wasn't your fault that was a driver.
Oh, it certainly was a driver. Of course it was a driver. Certainly. Wasn't us. I'll tell you, well, I had a wee bit of difficulty, you know, a wee bit of difficulty. Well, to be perfectly frank and honest with you, well, I was busting for the lava, you know. And, well, to be perfectly honest, it was touch and cloth, you know. And, I couldn't get into the lavatory because a certain individual had locked himself in.
I was unconscious, you know.
I shouldn't have taken a blackout because he thought we had drunk all the carry out and we weren't even in Carlisle, you know. Anyway, I had the alternative. I just went straight up. I just did it at the emergency exit, you know.
Remember him? Oh, he wasn't very pleased.
Oh, no, he comes peeing up the corridor. Hey, that's an emergency exit. Says, I know it's an emergency. I stopped him, didn't I?
Well, I'll tell you what, well, London's someplace, isn't it? You want to tell me about London?
Oh, marvellous place. Oh, hey, you want to see that place. Some sights in London, eh? Oh.
You can see them with your eyes, like, you know. Soho.
Eh?
Soho. Tell me about Soho.
Oh, Soho! Oh, dirty women, dirty women. Dirty, manky women. 50p on peep shows. See everything.
Bra, pants, roll-ons, a lot. You can see a lot.
But what were you on here? What was the Trafalgar Square?
Trafalgar Square.
What a place that is.
He's up on Napoleon's column. He's climbing it.
I'm not the time of that. Wait a minute. I'll give you an idea how drunk I was.
I went to see a West End musical. I'll give you an idea how drunk I was.
Do you know who killed Kennedy?
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Not the Disneyland version. You know who really killed him?
No.
He did. He did it himself.
How the hell did he do that?
Well, if you knew 61 Cadillac Eldorado the way I do, right, you'd know there's enough room in the cocktail cabinet for at least 2 45s. And a smart guy, right, with a piece of wood and a length of string, would set it off with his foot. You do not get to be president unless you're pretty smart, right?
Why did he make it look like murder?
Because he was a Catholic. You know, if you commit suicide and you're a Catholic, you go straight to hell.
Well, God would have seen that he killed himself. So he'd go to hell anyway.
Yeah. Look, if the whole of the CIA and the whole of the FBI can't work it out, huh? What chance do you think God's got to get it?
So what was Lee Harvey Oswald doing in the book depository with a telescopic rifle?
Getting himself into a whole heap of trouble.
Why would he want to kill himself anyway?
Because he violently disagreed with his own policies.
Then, Mr. Jones, we're quite comfortable there, are we?
Yes, thanks very much.
All we need now is a little prick to send us off to sleep, huh? Now, then, and I will show you a little...
Tragic, isn't it? I mean, when you think back to the old days, what a scene of urban dereliction and decay.
Yeah. I can remember when this were all factories.
Yes, I do. I make quite a good living. As a matter of fact, believe it or not, I make about £6,000 more than Mrs. Thatcher. I think she must be walking down the wrong streets.
Well, I love kids, actually. Actually, I don't like to use that term, actually, because they are people, aren't they? Only younger. Sometimes I call them young people. I do. No, because I learnt how to teach training college. I did the power relations option for 3 years, so, you know, I know what I'm talking. It really teaches you how to bond with kids. Young children, young people. No, it does. It teaches you that. And when I started, you know, I insisted that they call me Susan, you know, because, you know, that's not my name, so... No, but it just means that, you know, I can be your friend, but I can still punish you if I have to, because I am your teacher, but only a name type of thing. And that really bonded us. It did. It really bonded us. And we got really close as well, because they even thought up a nickname for me, which I thought, you know, they did. Miss Wagglebottoms. No, I I thought that was really rather lovely. And luckily they agreed with me about no exams, because that's really power crazed, isn't it? I think it is anyway. No, I insisted on, you know, continuous assessment, you know, for the individual youngster, sorry. No, because it's much fairer. And although I couldn't always find the kids in the daytime to assess, they were... But it didn't matter, no, because, no, I insisted that they just handed something in at the end of term, you know, to show they'd tried. I had quite an interesting collection of things handed in, actually. Sadly, I had to throw some of them away because, you know, it would have spread germs about the school. No, but anyway. No, some of these kids are so deprived. They are so deprived. Some of them, this is true, have not been breastfed. Can you believe it? Have not been breastfed. The least I could do was to offer some of these teenagers a second chance. Particularly during social studies, you know, because we learn about bonding there and eating and drinking generally and entertaining, you know, particularly useful for school leavers, you know, because they'll be on the dole and everything, a lot of spare time for dinner parties. And anyway, you know, practice it. And we were just practicing this with a role-playing dinner party situation. A couple of my friends came to sort of fan it out. And they're very sweet, actually. They're trying for a baby at the moment. And obviously we had to ask them to stop during the meal because it's a bit distracting. The kids are like, you know, they've all had a lovely time. I certainly did. Say him again, please. My kind of time. This land is my land.
What did I say?
It's long and wide, over the water, Cupid water. For the culinary heat. So vinegary heat. Washed in with ginger. La patisserie. At the Cindy Bakery.
Violent chuckles, your whole got Oh, yes! That's a bit. I told you, did you? I said, I'm about to buy it.
Oh, Mr. Perry, good of you to come.
Good evening, Britain. Tonight, I'd like to talk about shark fishing. But I don't know the first thing about it. So I'm going to have to talk about something else, I think. And anyway, the BBC have asked me to talk about sex again. So, sex, that's my topic for this week. And as you can see, Kevin Turvey. Yeah, but apart from that, what you can see as well is that I've been doing a lot of research into this problem. I've been to the swimming pool. I've been to the dirty bookshop. I've been to the Undertakers. That was a bit of a miscalculation, really. Well, the Undertaker's is like next door to the dirty bookshop, you know. And I wasn't concentrating very hard at the time. No, but they were very helpful in there, you know. I went in, I said, "Good afternoon, my name's Kevin Turvey, and I'm mainly interested in sex." And they gave me a few hints, like, you know. They weren't hints about sex, really, so much as hints about banging your head on a coffin and getting thrown through a window by undertakers. Which was okay, you know. But it wasn't really what I was investigating this week, you know. And I had to waste quite a lot of time looking for a chemist to buy some bandages, you know. Do you know how much bandages cost? Yeah, nor do I. Well, the chemists were closed. It took me 3 hours to find that out. What a waste of time. And you know me? Well, you don't. Well, I know me, anyway. But if you're someone like me, right, then time is money, as they say. Although I don't quite know who they are that say it. They're probably clockmakers, I suppose, and bank managers. Certainly ain't bank robbers. You don't get a bank robber going into the bank and saying, "All right, mate, give us the time." Hey, come on, give us the time and no funny business. Are you flicking the V's at me? Look, these ain't the V's, this is a gun, all right? Well, they look like the V's to me, mate. Look, just hand over the money, all right? Stick it all in this bag, all right? And no monkey business. What, do you mean like going, I'm a monkey? Yeah, that's the kind of thing. Now, are you going to cooperate, or do I have to start getting strange? No, I ain't going to cooperate. Not until you prove that that's a gun. Go on, fire a bullet with your V's, mate. Listen, mate, I'm a dangerous criminal, and I ain't got much time. All right, then, so fire a bullet, Scarface. This isn't a scarf, it's a beard. All right? Look, just stop wasting time, mate. All right, and fire a bullet with your V's or get out of it, all right? Right, I will. Bang! What do you think about that, mate? What do I think about what? What do I think about you going bang while your fingers is waggling? I think it's pathetic, that's what I think about it, basically. Get yourself a real gun. All right, then I will. Martin, give us a gun, will you? Right, mate, what do you think about that? Stick 'em up. All of them. Blimey, okay, mate. Wait a minute. No, you stick 'em up. No, I said it first. You stick 'em up, you twat. No, you stick 'em up. I got a gun, mate. Listen, well, I think you get the basic point, anyway. Thank you, Martin. Oh, dear. Sorry, mate. Sorry, like, was you talking to him? Oh, you wasn't? Oh, that's all right. Well, I think that's about all the time we've got for you this week. Golly, is that the time? So, I'm afraid I'm going to have to leave you there, you know. I mean, all great things have to come to an end, don't they? I mean, look at the M6, you know. Well, I mean, don't look at it now, you know, but when you're up there, have a look at it, because it's a great road. You know, it's at times like this, I'll always remember what Teresa Kelly once said to me. She said, "Why don't you sod off, Kevin Turvey?" And, you know, I think I know what she meant. So until next week, this is Kevin Turvey saying, do up your trousers, keep your shoes clean, and don't tell anyone you saw this programme, all right?
I'll pint of shandy, sir.
Thank you. And a packet of peanuts, please.
Certainly, sir. Be 48p, please, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Could I have a packet of peanuts, please?
this is Jack Beasley from next door. Look, there's a sociable and an unsociable time for your wife to use these gadgets, and I'm sure you'll agree this is an unsociable time. Yes? Yes, that's as maybe. Look, the thing is, I'm videoing at the moment, and your wife is causing a lot of interference which is coming out of the tape, thus rendering it scarcely worth watching. Yes. Yes. Oh, come on. Surely there's no harm in her turning off a kidney machine for a couple of hours now and again.
During an orange walk, a group of office bearers came to the end of a long procession. And, being tired, they removed their bowler hats, their sashes, and laying down their purely symbolic heavy batons, they decided to offer prayers to the Lord. One of them produced a Bible, and once they had found a member who could read, an extract was made. While this was going on, it was noticed that one of the young office bearers was playing with himself at cards. He was brought before the Grand Master and asked to make an explanation, which he did. He said, "When I see the ace, I am reminded that there is only one true God who I have made in my likeness and image. When I see the two, I am reminded that there are only two kinds of people in the world, good people and Roman Catholics. The three is the trinity that has guided me throughout my life. Wee Alec, Tim, and Jim from the newsagent. The four reminds me of the game of golf, and the fact that I can never win it because I refuse to stand on anything called a green. Five is the number of dollars I paid for my doctorate in divinity. And six is the hard number of minutes that I studied for it. 7 is what you get if you add up the first 2 digits of my telephone number. Belfast 1690. 8. Well, the 8 reminds me of the sausage, bacon, and eggs that I ate for breakfast. 9 is the reply I got from a German girl to a question I asked her once in Dusseldorf. 10 reminds me of Bo Derek. The Queen is, of course, Her Majesty. The King, who else but Elvis Presley? And the Jack, or Knave, the Pope. The Grand Master dismissed him, and no charges were brought against him. And that's a true story, folks. I know. I was that office bearer. And if you don't believe me, I'll ram this pack of cards down your throat.
I believe there is a God. I believe he created everything that we have, except for our home extension, because my husband did that.
Fine night for a talk. No moon, no fog. The lighthouse is out of match. There's many a fine shipload of sailor boys been lured to these here grounds.
There be the Clipper now, sir.
Stay with the lantern, Hawkins. These sailor boys is in for a big surprise tonight. Come a load of that!
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Just do the 2 Hail Marys for that one. Is there anything else, my son?
Yes, there is, Father. It's pornographic literature. You see, I just can't stop looking at Readers' Wives in Knave magazine.
Ah, no. Come on, now. You're obviously very mixed up. Readers' Wives are in Fiesta magazine.
The famous
famous, or should I say infamous, James Bond.
At your service, soon I hope.
Drink?
Yes, I'll have a...
Martini?
I'm impressed.
I believe you like it shaken.
Yes, but let's have a drink first.
Here you are, Mr. Bond.
Please. All my lovers call me James.
But I've never been your lover.
I hope to rectify that right now.
No, please.
No?
No, I can't. It's the wrong time of the month.
What?
It's the wrong time of the month.
What do you mean? It's never the wrong time of the month for Bond girls. Come on. You're obviously lying. This never happens to James Bond.
Well, it's happened now. Anyway, I don't want to be your lover.
Playing hard to get, eh?
No, I just don't fancy you.
What do you mean? Every woman fancies James Bond.
Well, I don't.
So, in other words, you're a lesbian.
No, I'm not. I just think you're too old.
Don't you watch television? Don't you go to the movies? Young girls are always getting off with old, mature men.
Well, I prefer someone my own age.
So, you prefer boys to men? Listen, honey, my gun's still cocked and loaded. You can do anything with me you can do with a man half my age. Well, except run your fingers through my hair. Listen, miss, what's your name anyway?
Agnes Brown.
Agnes Brown. That's no good. Bond girls always have names like Lay It On Me, Tickle My Fancy, and Goldfinger. There was Pushy galore.
Well, there's none here tonight.
You know, I've had hundreds of lovers, and you're to be special. You're to be number 1,000.
You've really had hundreds of lovers?
Well, not hundreds, not literally, more like, well, none.
None. Why?
Well, you never get anything explicit in James Bond films. All I ever give them is a kiss when I arrive, a wisecrack when I leave, and shot all in between. Anyway, I'll be going now.
Mr. Bond! I misjudged you. I thought you were an arrogant, insensitive man who simply used women for your own ends. But I was wrong. You're just a pathetic old Burke who can't get his oats.
Thank you, love. We'll let you know. Next. Thank you, love. We'll let you know. Next. Thank you, love. We'll let you know.
Sharon, will you tell your mother I'll be working late at the office tonight?
Mummy, Daddy says he'll be working late at the office tonight.
Will you tell your father not to expect any dinner tonight? He knows quite well it's my night for going out.
Daddy, Mummy says
Will you
don't
tell your
expect
mother
any
that if
dinner
it was to
tonight.
be anything like the meal we had last night, I'd rather eat the contents of an ashtray?
Mummy, Daddy says if it's anything
Will you
like
tell your father that if he doesn't like my cooking, he can return to the Filipino stripper he used to pimp for?
Daddy, if you don't
Will you
like...
tell your mother that I only pimped for that Filipino stripper to earn enough money to pay for your mother's numerous backstreet abortions?
Mummy, Daddy says that
Will you
he
tell your father that's an absolute lie and he knows it? He needed the money to support his hopeless heroin addiction.
Daddy, Mummy
I'd
says
like to
that-
remind your mother that my addiction to heroin came about because heroin was administered as part of the torture when I was captive in a Viet Cong prison camp. A camp in which your mother was commandant.
Mummy, Daddy's just...
Will you remind your father that if it hadn't been for my intervention, he would have been shot for what he caught doing to that wild pig?
A wild pig?
Daddy.
Will you tell your mother that it was dark and I thought it was her?
Will you tell your father? No, I won't. I can see you now for what you are, and I hate you. God, I hate you.
Bye-bye, darling. Good luck with your O-levels today.
Plenty more comedy to come. BBC Two Seeing in the New Year with Mark Lamar, who's back with us very soon. While on BBC One, Phil Jupitus and Vinnie Jones are just two of the guests for They Think It's All Over in just a few moments.
There's no filming here, right? It's...
For the last 4 years, a relentless television crew
29,350 from the one address.
has been following a team of Merseyside policemen.
My name's Sergeant Spencer from the Serious Crime Squad. You've been arrested on suspicion of murder, okay?
Murder? Everywhere. These are not actors. They're the real cops. How thin can the blue line get? Mersey Blues starts 13th of January on BBC Two.
I've only been on the hormones 18 months. My nipples are like bullets.
You ready, Ken? Yeah. Right, we're all here behind you. You're right. Oh.
Can you show me where your points are?
You have your own shower and WC.
Into which we don't pass solids.
He's looking for a boy.
After eh?
The League of Gentlemen starts Monday, 11th of January.
It's Reeves and Mortimer, New Year's Day at 10:15 on BBC Two. A banging new series.
An amazing lineup to bring in the new year on BBC Two, including Catatonia, The Cause and Gomez. Jules Holland will be here with the Hootenanny at 5 to midnight.
New Year's Eve wouldn't be New Year's Eve if it was May the 9th, which was the last time our next filmed extravaganza was wheeled out. You might not believe this, but I actually love musicals. It's very rare on a Sunday afternoon round my house that I'm not slumped on the sofa with a bottle of Night Nurse dawdling through my system and a box of mini Battenbergs at my side. Overjoyed at the prospect of, say, The Wizard of Oz, West Side Story, Oklahoma, Oliver, Emmanuel Get Your Gun, something like that. So you can imagine how far my heart sank this evening when I found out that tonight's musical was the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Mainly because I'm not entirely comfortable with the thought of thousands of grown men throughout the country sitting in their recliners, watching me, clad only in stocking suspenders and very inexpertly applied makeup. You think it's fun, but here's a word of advice. Look in the mirror, pal. Can I have that Puzzler magazine?
What's going on here? Ah, there you are, young